Most of us have heard things like what goes around comes around. That if something bad happens with you, then it's probably your bad karma. And if something good happens with you, then you must have done something good in your past life. But have you ever paused to think who is actually keeping a record of all that you're doing? Who's sitting up there in the sky with a moral ledger deciding who deserves what? What if I told you that karma is not real? At least not in the way that you think it is. In Hindu philosophy, we understand karma as action. And over time, though, it has been tied into this moral cause and effect that if you do good, then good will be done to you, you will be rewarded. And if you do bad, then you will be punished either in this life or in your next life. Then, in Bhagavad Gita and in Upanishads, it is written that as one acts, so does he become. And what we have to actually understand is it is true in a symbolic sense that our actions shape our state of being. But now, what began as a lesson rooted in awareness has evolved into this fear-based morality, the idea that universe is keeping a score of your actions. So in this current day and age, karma now has become a way to explain everything that we cannot understand logically as to why good people suffer, why do bad people always prosper, or why sometimes things are so wrong for no reason. At this point, it has almost kind of become a coping mechanism more than the truth itself. However, if you pay attention closely, then you must know that in Bhagavad Gita, the Krishna never said that do good and you will get good. However, he said that you have the right to your action, not to its fruit, which means that you have to focus on your inner alignment and the action, not the reward or the punishment that may follow. Because both of them are then traps. And truthfully, karma is not meant to be a cosmic punishment system. It is meant to teach detachment. However, as the time has progressed, we have quite literally flipped the whole concept of karma and made it all about reward system and moral behavior. So when people usually say that, they will get their karma, they're actually reflecting their need for justice and not a universal law. If you can see that the universe is not based on morality, rather on vibration, then everything operates through resonance, not judgment. Things really don't happen just because you did something wrong. They happen because your current state of being matches that experience. For example, if somebody lives in this constant state of fear, guilt, and resentment, then they will keep encountering situations that confirm those emotions because the universe is going to maintain and magnify what your vibration is. The universe always follows the path of least resistance, and if you are in a particular state of vibration, then it is going to magnify more of that. Mind you, this is not meant to come off as a punishment because the universe in itself is neutral, but more in a sense of resonance. It's almost like a mirror showing you what's within, and that's not karma. That's the law of vibration matching energy. The universe is not keeping a score, it is just matching your frequency. So, when people say that they are facing bad karma, what's actually happening is they are experiencing the kind of reality that matches their inner vibration, and the moment that they can shift their frequency, the external pattern or the external reality will dissolve instantly and not after lifetimes. Now, another thing that I would like you to think about is the concept of non duality, wherein there is no separate you who's performing the actions, and then there is no separate you who's receiving the results. When you realize that it is all one consciousness, the entire idea of personal karma collapses. Because for karma to exist, there must be two things, a doer and a receiver. But if there is only one consciousness, then who is doing what to whom? And this is exactly why enlightened beings are said to be beyond karma, not because they have cleared their karmic debt, but because they have seen through this illusion of individuality altogether. Because at a very core level, we are all connected. Now, the action is still happening, but then there is no ego claiming any kind of ownership over it. Think of it like this: when the ocean is in flow, the waves are moving, they're rising and falling. Now, you cannot say that one wave is punished and the other one is rewarded. They're all just movements of the same water. And that is what exactly life is, which is movement with one consciousness. No judgment, no balance sheet, no moral accounting. And if karma were actually real, then every cruel person would suffer and every kind person would prosper, should have been rewarded. But that's not how life works, and you have seen it. If you can see past all this so called explanations that we have been fed, like, you don't know what's going on in their life. You don't know what is going behind the scenes. They will get their karma. I mean, you are a good person, you are a kind person, but you still have so many bad things happen to you. Why? So I think it's time we stop deluding ourselves and see things for what they are. Now, I want to preface this. I am not encouraging that since karma is not real, then go on the streets and murder people or be unkind to people. You do good things, you stay kind to people, you do not cause any harm because that's the right thing to do, not because you fear something. If you're doing something out of fear, oh, like if I don't do this, then something bad will happen to me, then your vibration is of fear. But if you're doing something because you're grateful for it, if you're helping somebody because you really want to, because you're grateful for your day, for your life in general, then your state of being is rooted in gratefulness. It is rooted in happiness. Then that is your state of being, and that is going to be reflected in your reality. So you have to understand that performing an action is one thing, but your intentions behind it, your state of being behind is going to decide what kind of reality you are going to experience. Because we have seen it all. We have seen dishonest people succeed, infants born into suffering, animals die in pain without even doing anything wrong. If karma were a perfect, balanced mechanism, reality would look so different. So maybe the thing is that universe actually does not function on morality, it functions on causality. That things happen due to energy, choices, collective consciousness, timing, and your state of being, and not moral compasses. And when we reduce life to just good karma and bad karma, we lose sight of this deeper intelligence behind all of it, the one that operates beyond human judgment. Maybe the idea of karma was never about keeping people afraid, but it was meant to guide us towards awareness of cause and effect within the consciousness. Because, yes, every emotion that you feel and the thought and the action arising from it creates ripples. But that ripple does not wait a lifetime to reflect, to return. They reflect quite instantly through your vibration. If you act out of fear, you will live in a fearful reality. If you act from a place of peace, that peace will be reflected in your reality. And that is not punishment or reward, that is resonance. So perhaps karma is not a debt to be paid, rather, it is a mirror to be understood. So now, if you have understood anything from this video, then you will not fear bad karma. You will not moralize people's suffering. You will stop seeing yourself as a victim of your past life or mistakes. You will realize that universe is waiting to actually reward you. It is simply responding to you right here, right now. Not because of what have been done, but because who you are being right now in this current moment. In this current moment. And with that, I will send the next video.